to finding a win.
It is so right. Even if the overlay needs to be changed, don't be fooled. It is a 9-2 Ruddy against a 10-1 Nord. And I just want to remind you, top 2, all they have to do to qualify for EMEA Masters is win 1 best of 5. They have 2 attempts. They need to win one and win the second one. If you are not top 2, you are straight down to a loser's bracket, where you have to win 2 best of 5s. So the burden of execution on finishing 3rd or 4th and then making it to the EMEA Masters million times higher than it is on the side of a top 2 team.
And now I don't really think that you can go into that 3rd place match or that 3rd, 4th matchup and go, we're against whoever the 4th seed is. It should be fine to just go into the lower bracket one. It is now a very much a case of, okay, that 3rd, 4th game is one where we could be battling to stay in the tournament, and then you've got to go through the whole rigmarole in like the next game day, right? It's not easy to be in that 3rd, 4th spot. So obviously both of our teams looking to secure themselves top 2. And both of our junglers here in this instance starting out on that bot side, pathing up toward the top lane, Rifty and WoW, already starting out with a couple skirmishes, e-start for both of them. So there's a element of countering right there, of course. The Jax can block auto attacks while the Olaf takes a skill that isn't an auto attack. So, 6 to 1, half a dozen of the other, but Rifty so far coming out a little on top.
Oh. I mean, that is a very aggressive ghost from WoW, but he knows his power. That is a massive trade for him, as he hits the undertow on the way out as well.
Okay. I don't think there was ever lethal there, I'll be honest. The distance from Rifty's turret was not quite enough, but clearly WoW fought differently. And maybe he's just ghosting for prio. So it's an interesting maneuver. But I think that Rifty will be quite happy to be able to sustain off this early game now. Has a little bit of a window where he's not really under kill threat, as long as you've got a ward up or some way to jump to safety. With no ghost on the Olaf, that now makes him as well a little bit more vulnerable. Look who's here. No Name has spotted WoW overextended, and Rifty's got flash.
Yeah, flash available for both WoW and No Name. Let's see if he predicts at level 3.
Wow.
No Name! You absolute monster. In the end, though, it won't lead to first blood.
No.
It might lead to disaster instead. It looked good, but Nakabane might be able to do something simple. Holds onto the punch, hits it onto Rifty. No Name in trouble. As WoW picks up first blood. Good turns to bad, turns to disaster for Ruddy.
Rifty's going to lose enough of this wave for it to be bad. I think that Akabane is doing a very good job right now because he knows Rifty has TP. The more you can delay this recall, the more you can delay the teleport back to the lane. We get a replay of that top lane, and you could see No Name thought he'd got lethal damage on to WoW. Recognized that he could try and find a kill. Just didn't quite have the damage there. One more auto attack may have done it, but WoW was fast on the fingers. Found the E, found the extra damage from the undertow as well. And turned the fight. The miscommunication there, unfortunately, from Ruddy, because that cocoon hits, and we see actually Rifty walking away. If Rifty walks forward there, the difference in that one extra auto attack that they could have found, it genuinely gets the kill. And then they get to take that 2v1 instead of it being a 1v2 with potentially split resources.
I cannot believe that he predicted the flash and still they're unable to come up with the kill. I should say, it's these small micro decisions changing the outcome of that whole play. And No Name again, then flashing, trying to flash over the undertow, but does still get hit by it, and then WoW's able to take him down with the auto attack. It is a dire situation now for Ruddy. How bad is this on a scale from 1 to 10?
I think Akabane is increasing it with every second that he can stop Rifty getting back to base. That's why I was, praising it, because it is a very important juncture for him to, push back as many minions as possible for Rifty, because that XP lead can really snowball. And it is, I'd say, really going to be detrimental, because now WoW can be left in that top lane, I would imagine, unattended for a very long time, and then not really be anything that Rifty can do in the 1v1.
And that it's just such a bummer for Ruddy, because you can see the play, it almost worked to perfection. And in the end, they're just not able to fully make it work.
Okay, We get to look at the rest of the map, though, because despite top lane being absolute disaster zone for Rifty, I think he was able to use the teleport, obviously TP advantage. This is one instance having that fail-safe, I guess, more than anything. Zakaban's already here, but No Name stops for the Krugs.
Yeah, Rifty in a 1v2 could be in a heap of trouble, but the Q will be challenged, but not used, as now No Name is here as well. Cocoon available, no flash from either one. As yet another Cocoon connects, but the follow-up still not there this time around. Akabane goes back in, no, maybe a bit too far forward. A couple more autos will do it. No Name able to jump up with the repel, should fall to the undertow as well.
And now Wow gets two.
Hit up. Now Rifty in a 1v1 against the undertow. Needs to juke it. Is able to now, though. Should be able to have the CC undertow coming through again. And now Wow's 3-0. It is a horror scenario. The weak side top laner, he's stacked already.
Yeah, it wasn't weak side this game, Duckling. They've just decided that top lane was going to be the way that this game was won or lost. And, you know, it's looking very won for Nord right now. 3-0 WoW has tended to result only one way for teams going up against Nord. And I think that Ruddy may have signed their own death warrants already in this game. And that seems a little crazy to say. But if Nord can snowball this top lane, as well as we've seen them snowball other games, I very much expect this to be a quick, swift close. And it's, like I say, it's a bit of a tough pill to swallow. And Ruddy, if they win this game, they're going to have to gone up one hell of a mountain to make it happen.
I mean, that's what the NLC is about, right? We were all at the foot of the mountain at the beginning of the split, climbing towards the top. And now Ruddy, we're almost at the peak. Seems like their hand might have slipped, though. A couple of small blunders, small mistakes, and now led to them being 1.3k behind. But that's not the main issue. The main issue is that all 3 kills are on WoW. And you might get some of your jungler or AD carries soon as well. Then Boxley recalling, but No Name there to protect.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I was looking at the minimap and I saw WoW use Ghost, and this top lane's over. There's no way about it. 4-0 WoW. He can do as and what he pleases. The onus is now on Ruddy to make things happen elsewhere, to try and make this Olaf, you know, somewhat matched later on. It's very difficult though. Xayah Rakan, a very stable 2 versus 2, and with Akaban able to, you know, spend as much time outside of the top lane as he wants, it means he can shield Woolite and Kasing from any potential ganks that are going to come from No Name. It means that Fury is exceedingly safe in the mid lane as well, because he can also have a little bit of support from his jungler when needed. I'm struggling, Duckling. I'm struggling for ways to spin this positively for Ruddy, because they've got a finite amount of time, a finite amount of chances to make this sort of turn back their way before WoW comes out of that top lane, presumably with a lot of plates and a lot of gold, and just destroys them. Yeah,
I'm trying to spin that wheel as well, but all I'm really finding is straws, and I'm grasping for them, unable to really catch on to anything. I mean, maybe a couple of kills here, a Herald spawning in half a minute. The thing is, how are you going to secure a Herald when a 4-0 Olaf could just walk down and eviscerate your HP bars? There's no Drake to play for 4 minutes. It's already been taken. It's a really difficult scenario.
And he can 1v2 at this point as well. Not just like 1v2, maybe even 1v3.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, Rifty should be just dead here, right? Might be able to jump out and buy some time as the Undertow doesn't connect on the second way around. They just don't have the damage to kill him, though. You might be able to handshake you, and you might be able to get him low. The damage, just not quite there. And now Kasing fighting Rifty in a 1v1. Might have stepped too far forward. Nida zoning up Fury. The explosive cost goes wide, and there falls Rifty. Kasing with a great flash over the wall to bring himself to safety, as now Akabane decides against going back in, realizes the Herald is up, and he wants to take it.
They're just using all of their cooldowns and baiting in Ruddy beautifully, right? The flash still ready for Fury and Kasing means that they're able to make Ruddy overextend just enough to not go down.
And No Name wants to flip it, unable to secure it. Nida comes, and it's a 3-man boot. Wow, so low. Can they get him? They need the shutdown. But for the 4th, 5th, or 6th time I can remember, they failed to take down WoW, as it's a 1-for-1 around the Herald.
And even better is that it's the jungler that falls for Nord. It's the best case scenario for them. You know, maybe they could argue Kasing goes down, but it means that their solo laners aren't losing out on gold or experience when this happens. No Name goes in, doesn't quite find the smite, and yes, it's a 3-man boop, But this Gragas has built a door entering for ability power. We've spent, 1,200 gold on components of the Rod of Ages and the tier build path. It is not a very damage-oriented Gragas for now, and we're building for a late-game Gragas that genuinely may never happen.
Yeah, it's a dire situation. I mean, they might as well rename to the Dire Wolves and move to OCE, because it is a... how would you rate that joke? 3 out of 10?
Yeah, it wasn't. That was just slander. Like, I know this game's looking bad, but you just dogged on them when they're getting destroyed.
No, I mean, I'm really deflated here, because I was expecting, a back and forth long game, and to be honest, it might still happen. It's just hard to see, as they might be able to assassinate Kasing. They surely have him here, right? No flash?
Nope.
No, he's out. He dances his way out beautifully. Here comes the pass, though. And finally, Ruddy have something to pop the champagne open about, as they might lose No Name in the end, though. This could turn from a 1 kill to a deficit scenario as Woolite comes in to pick up 1 for himself. Even the wins turns to losses for Ruddy.
No, I really like the way that Ruddy are trying to play this out. They've got Elise as a jungler. You have to keep making plays. Unfortunately, it's just too bad that you're down such a high amount of gold. They even make the right place on the right side of the map as well, right? Oh, WoW is destroying top lane. Let's just not go top lane. Let's make something happen elsewhere. Even that, they can't quite make the most of, because they don't have complete control, right? The prior in the bot side was in favor of Woolite, and Voxney wasn't able to be a part of that fight that's happening. So it's all just going wrong and wrong and wrong. And this is another huge wave denied. Even if Rifty doesn't die here, he loses out on a ton of experience.
Hasn't he been through enough already, guys? Come on. This is just brutal. I think they should be able to dive him, right? Yeah, he just needs to hit on the undertoes. The Ragnarok actually popped. Ghost as well. Wow, a bit too over-eager as the rotation coming through from Ruddy, and that is, that's a W. They're able to catch the wave.
Yeah, I mean, Rifty gets enough of the farm there to make that worthwhile. And obviously, I mean, they burn WoW's Ghost and Ragnarok. It buys a little bit of safety as well for Rifty for the next, minute and a half or so before the ulti comes back up off cooldown. But with all of that rotation, it does give the little bit of extra free time to Nord, right? Woolite got a free base there, gets to go back and pick up the Gale Force, but then Voxney is going to struggle to find a base timing.
Yeah, he might find a base timing here. Yeah, with the kill.
I lied.
Free, now on a rampage. As, Woolite's laughing on the cans. He's enjoying himself at the moment.
Woolite is playing AD carry this game. I'm of the firm opinion that, this is my solo queue showing right now. ADCs we've been in the lows for like the entirety of the last 5 seasons. We now have agency, but this is like season 11, season 10 AD carry, where it doesn't matter what happens, you just win or lose. And Woolite's in that mode right now. He doesn't have to do anything. WoW's going to carry this game. Fury's a supplement if necessary. And as long as Woolite is hitting farm, worst case scenario is he has to auto attack for free in a team fight, because he's also never going to be the focus.
I mean, that's not like too big of a job as an AD carry, right? Also attacking, dishing out damage.
No, genuinely, Woolite doesn't have to do that this game because of how far ahead his solo lanes are, but he just gets to,
Oh no, this is a Herald, by the way. This is a turret, first turret, full plates secured for Nord to just build up that gold lead even more, which is already at 6,000 gold, just at 12 minutes. It is, this game is a lesson in how much a couple of mistakes can mean for a whole game's direction.
And it goes back onto the setup that I gave of Ruddy, is they either smash or get smashed. I painted the picture that the latter half of this split, it's been a little less coin flippy as that. But when they're losing games, it does just look like they're making the 1-2 aggressive plays early on that don't quite land, and it ends up costing them the entire match.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Dunchuck has to say about this when the game ends, regardless of how he wants to be named. Are Ruddy fully out of this? That's what I want to ask you. Is there a way for Ruddy to come back, or are you fully out of options now?
Right, it is. Nord have to do a conga line down mid lane 3 or 4 times, and into Den Voxney immediately, and then maybe there's a chance. It is really difficult, and it's on Nord to lose this game. I'm quite happy to say that one. but they can still lose it. If they don't play proactively enough, there is a world where Voxney late game, Rifty late game starts to take over and can start winning out on these team fights. Now, is that world one that I think that we will see, or is even relatively close?
Fury might be to the mid lane.
Oh,
I mean, they're going in. Yeah, they
dead.
got him. They got him. I mean, we were too busy watching WoW's beautiful back. Regardless, though, they got him. I mean, that is a big shutdown onto No Name. He's now somewhat back in the game, right? That's a big 500 plus bonus gold.
It's a good start. Like I said, it needs to be a team conga line down mid lane 3 or 4 more times. So that's like a fifth, a quarter maybe of the way there. There's no means like way back in this game, but that is the first step in the right direction for Ruddy.
So, as this game now continues, we might have found a way, because we can say, if this happens 5 more times, you mentioned the conga line, maybe just a couple more big shutdowns. Regardless though, obviously, no, they're looking to just expand this lead, and what can make that happen, maybe, though? On my end, it would be yet another Herald, so maybe just charge down mid lane and open up that tier 1 as well.
Weird, and they've already got 2 dragons as well, right? So they're well on their way to an early game Elder, early game Soul.
Oh, Nida. I mean, he's found Woolite, who's actually being targeted, but what's happening on the other end? Well, it's No Name being absolutely eviscerated by Fury. Down and Voxner on the wrong side of this fight. Flash forward from Fury. Will secure the double kill for himself. Woolite barely survives with the HP I can count on one hand, but he made it out.
Yeah, and WoW was such a big part of that fight as well, just hitting away on a tier 2 turret. Just goes to show you how far ahead Nord really are. They're in a 4 versus 5 scenario, and they're winning. And they're getting 2 kills, maybe even 3 here as Nita falls under the turret. Fury still had Tibbers after that massive engage, able to take the tier 2 turret in bot lane. They're going to take potentially 2 turrets in mid lane as well. How many summons do Nord have?
I mean, I don't know, because I think Nord can just do whatever they want. I mean, they're definitely not frauds today, as this is a monstrous performance against one of our top teams. Ay, caramba. I'm out of things to say. Have you had a good week, Rude? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. You know, I went out for lunch today and I had a nice burger, and it's been good. I didn't expect to be eating as well as Nord are eating this game, and I don't think that I did. I think that Nord have been absolutely incredible, and I think that the question that we had sort of from 2-3 minutes in was, how well are you going to be able to snowball this game and close it out? I think so far they're hitting the nail on the head.
I mean, I just realized something I've realized many times this split is that Nord are, pretty good at League of Legends, and they will continue to be that. At the moment, I'm thinking about if Veteran also predicted for Ruddy. I think he did, right? I think Veteran predicted Ruddy. He did not?
Did not.
Oh, that means I lose. Now I'm not gonna, then I won't be soloed. This sucks, man. This actually blows. Then he'll have the crown all to himself. Then I have to be the one who catches up.
Yep.
Oh,
I'm dead last. I have no horse in this prediction race.
Maybe stop predicting natives, man, and you might start winning some games.
Whoa! They're not even playing, dude.
No,
Come on.
sorry, man. When you're all 12, you have to take some shots every now and then.
They've been taking them. That's why they're 12.
Another tier 2 mid lane turret falls, or not another one, another tier 2 turret falls. That's probably the right way to say it, as the goal lead now grows to nearly 10k. As a soul point will be up in just 15 seconds as well for Nord's convenience. As a Nida is trying to split push, but Fury denies him. And
I like this as well from Fury. Has opted into maybe the most damage-oriented Annie that I've seen so far. I've seen a lot of Liandry's into like Demonic Embrace, right? But this is just flat damage necessarily, with the penetration coming through from Shadow Flame. So really good one-shot capabilities that Annie is going to have. We can recall back to the times of old where Annie would build, Righteous Glory, if we remember what that item did, and just still one-shot people regardless. With this build, it is a QW, and then Voxney is going to lose Shield Blow.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other way around it. This is doomed. Maybe a Baron for the 20 minutes will do something to spice up this game.
It will lose them the game sooner if it goes wrong. And that has been how Ruddy loses games.
No, I mean, you never die around Nash. That's the #1 lesson from Ruddy.
So I know that sounds like we're ragging on them a little bit, but this is like the thing we were mentioning, that we like to see teams lose fast rather than lose slowly, because it means they're looking for proactive plays. Like right here, Ruddy are in the wrong side of the rift, but they want to find somebody who's just, you know, in a little area that they're not supposed to be. Nord, though, they know, and they've got the sniffers out trying to find them.
Oh, Kasing jumps straight into 4. He dies instantly, but now it'll be a bloodbath as the feathers are flying around the map. It is one picked up for Nord. Will be more in just a couple seconds. There we go. The double kill for Woolite, a kill for Akabane. They can share the spoils of the witches or whatever you say. Regardless, I mean, Ruddy are wiped. I love to see this. Oh wait, I do not love to see this though. I hate Olaf.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? While landed enough Qs under the turret, he should... No. Ooh, he knew the W shield was coming.
That is a confident man if I've ever seen one. Let's look at that one more time.
Yeah, I mean, Kasing knew, like, deep down in his heart, he knew he was going to die if he did that. But he knows that his team are there to mop up the pieces afterwards. There's not really too much to break down on this, because they're just so far ahead that any 4v4 taken anywhere is just Nord favoured, and they don't have to be too clinical about it, to be honest. We can look at the items and say, wow, look at how far ahead they are. We can look at the levels, say, look at how far ahead they are, right? Like,
oh wow, yeah.
Every metric is going their way, so...
But, Rude, I really do agree on the point you made earlier, because I love to see this proactivity, the fact that Ruddy are doing something to try and come back, and not just beating out, losing this game in 27 minutes without doing anything. The fact that they are doing this, you know, to maybe just spice things up. I like it. And obviously, this is just one game where a couple things have went wrong. We've seen it from other teams as well. You know, I think it was Unique who played against Nord, and this kind of same thing happened, except it was the Draven back then. And then they got steamrolled in 21 minutes. We all knew it's not because Unique a dog water. It's because they messed up the early dive. And that's what lost them the game. This time it's Ruddy messing up a couple early game ganks. That does not mean they're bad. They've misplayed a couple plays. Nord are just so good that they're punishing on those few mistakes and taking this game to the next level.
And already breaking open the base, likely going to get this inhibitor. Okay, hostile takeover is going to hit. Wow. Oh, Fury
just flashes forward to try and delete Denvox, who's able to somewhat get out with a couple of HP on his hot. In the end, though, he's back to base, and it's the inhibitor that falls.
They got the inhib. That's all that matters, generally speaking. So they can't be too sad about this. Managed to find themselves a way into the base. They've still got a minute and a half left on the Baron, so they'll probably be able to get a second. You can see immediate deploy out into the bot side of the rift. WoW doesn't have teleport, so they're not giving like even an inch of opportunity for Ruddy to make a 5 versus 4 play. I mean, we've seen them win 5v4s already here at Nord, so they're going to look for something here.
Yeah, no name. Nice repel there to deny the cease and desist. Goes back down, jukes the punch as... Oh, Rifty died in mid lane. Now Fury, though, should fall right... No, that is perfect peeling from Kasing. And there it goes, Nash. There goes your teammates, Denvox. And double kill for WoW. I mean, he could look for more, but they might just go for the base. Let's look at the base. Woolite is ending the game, by the way.
We may be ending the game a little bit. I don't think Nita dies here, but... you know, if it throws a Q that does next to no damage, and that's the total of the wave clear. Woolite's here, he's cutting off Nita, so potential for the Gragas to fall under the turret.
Yeah, let's see what Nita does. I mean, he goes in, gets the double bomber. Might find one kill back. Hey,
nice.
This might gets it. Forces the flash as well out of Woolite. I mean, respect. I give that an A+ for effort.
For effort, sure. You know what? They can have an A+ for effort. You know what? I'll give them an S+ for effort. Ruddy have genuinely looked for every single opportunity to get back into this game. It's unfortunately just not worked out for them. You know, respect the flash handshake. It is too little, too late. And Kasing actually putting up a lot of work on the Rakan. It's not something that we tend to, you know, praise Rakans for, but managing to press E.
Oh, more fighting, regardless. Let's see how many kills WoW can rack up in this fight, or if its teammates will take it. That's another one for Woolite. Here comes Nita. No ultimate, he's just dead. Double kill for Woolite. As now here comes the lightning crash. Maybe, just maybe, then voxd could look to get a couple of kills here as he dashes a bit too far over the wall. And now they look to chase down No Name, repel onto Akabane, but unable to find him as in the base, the minions are taking over. Then voxd will fall in the end. It's an ace. It's a clean one. At that, at 24 minutes in, the base is being broken only by the minions.
I think they end the game here. The death time is maybe too short for Nord to end, but I think as long as this Nexus turret falls, Nord can kind of just feast on the champions as they come one by one.
And a hostile takeover.
From Ruddy. Okay, hits the Rakan.
Oh, that's a kill for Rifty. Back to 300 gold worth, and now he dies instantly. Woolite able to take down that Nexus turret. Only the Nexus stands now. This is certainly a game of League of Legends. That's my conclusion.
Woolite had one plan. WoW, weirdly enough, had a safer one. Not something. I don't want to draw your attention to WoW's build path, but do look at WoW's build path because I've seen some things in my time. This is one of them. A triple Caulfield's Warhammer Olaf. I noticed that there were two. I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he just misclicked ball to a second one, but we're just buying longswords. That's all. We don't need items. We just need AD.
The thing is, right, if he misses his undertow, he's able to throw another hammer. I mean, he just has hammers on the backup. Use that instead.
Yeah, okay. That's true. Minus 1,100 gold just to launch a Caulfield. I respect that.
Yeah, I respect the hustle as well. Let's see what he does now when he recalls. No, he sold! Wait, did he sell this other item or was it already a Yumus? I thought it was a more earlier.
I thought it was something a bit more defensive. Can we get a replay?
I'm pretty sure it's a more than Mortis earlier that he just sold to make a Yumus.
Oh well. WoW knows what he's doing.
I mean, I trust WoW.
Yeah. And this game is so far beyond reproach that it really doesn't matter what he does. Like they even have X-Tech as well. Like this is, or Chemtech, this is beyond brutal. No Nexus turret stand. I mean, let's go. Let's just end.
Way Fury flashes forward. He will find them. It's a big explosive cast to end out the game. Woolite takes half his HP. That's the most damage I think anyone from Ruddy has done this game, as No Name will fall in the end. Cease and desist, not even needed. Hostile takeover for good measure. As the Nexus now being hit upon, it was never really in doubt after the first couple of minutes. Nord in control of the game from minute 2, and they dominated for the rest of the game as well.
Yeah, that's it. They got early gamed. We got to see a true snowball. They got a soul. They won the game, and I think that this is I don't think either of these teams are gonna be like writing one or the other off from this matchup, because the most intense part was those first 2v2s in the top side, and it's one of those situations where if the 2v2 goes just the other way, the entire landscape of the game is completely different. Yeah. So it's not one of those where, oh, it was a 26-minute stomp, Nord are just infinitely better than Ruddy. This is one of those where it was a 26-minute stomp because of one or two crucial plays that happened in the early game.
I wholeheartedly agree with that point, and I think it's important to highlight. We know Ruddy are not a bad team. This was a couple mistakes that Nord just punished to the absolute maximum, and were able to take the game with that as well. Obviously, we will have interviews, and I'm excited to hear from both teams about this game, because what a game it was as we watch the rest of the highlights.
I mean, as we watch the rest of the just death spree, I think, just all of the murder from Nord here, I think, like I mentioned, this isn't a game that you take away and think, yes, Ruddy are trash team, really bad. But it is one that means a lot for our standings as well. It's worth noting that now Nord are solo top of our league. They're 11-1, where we've got 9-3 for Ruddy, obviously 10-2 for Riddle. So you take a look at the end of the first round robin and compare that to now. It's not looking too different, but the fact that Nord are now the ones who have gone undefeated through the second half of the round robin so far, they're them plus obviously I think Veneer ? They're looking like the current back half teams that are in a really good position. Or really
And,
good
yeah,
form, at least.
I will confirm as well, WoW did have a maul. He sold that to buy a use.
Yes,
Instead of doing anything with his core field.